Welcome back. Catholic bishops in the country have blamed government agencies and oil companies for the massive crude oil theft and poverty in the Niger Delta region. At a meeting of stakeholders in the nation's capital, the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, John Cardinal Onayekon, criticized the government for not doing enough to reduce crude oil theft, which is estimated at 150,000 barrels per day. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezioke, reports.
The Nigerian Navy recently confirmed that the nation loses about $20 billion to crude oil theft annually. Various local and international organizations have echoed this report, and the presidency have equally reacted with a promise to stop the menace. But years down the line, bishops who frequently visit these communities say government's efforts appear fragile as activities like illegal refining continue unabated.
The oil companies are stealing our oil. In other words, they are not paying for everything that they are taking out. For me, that is even the most serious problem. They are not paying for everything that they are taking out, and they are able to get away with it because everybody involved seems to be part of it, including the agencies that government has put there to watch over what the oil companies are doing.
Citing reasons behind the growing oil theft and spillage, the special advisor to Bayelsa State Government on Environment said the visible scars of the activities are unmistakable and continue to threaten the livelihood of millions of people in the region.
The oil companies can shout from today till kingdom come about how their profit margins have been affected. We know some of their personnel are involved in this trade. And they will have to look within for some of the solutions.
There's no law which says you cannot refine crude. The penalty is about 2,000 naira. I don't know what the PIB will do about that. So what do these people do? They refine, and there's crude oil available to everyone. But the environmental impact, it's something that is a follow-on from that.
In his reaction, the Group General Manager, Public Affairs Division, Mr. Ohi Alegbe, said in a statement that the issue has remained on the front burner of NNPC's operation, and the Minister of Petroleum is working assiduously with a security committee set up by the presidency to combat crude oil theft. Questions, however, continue as to whether or not these interventions by the government is yielding the desired impact on the people. Gloria Umezioke, Channels Television News.
You're welcome to Business News Tonight. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has stipulated a capital requirement of 100 billion naira for wholesale development finance institutions, WDFIs, and 5 billion naira for retail development finance institutions. This was contained in a draft regulatory and supervisory guidelines for development finance institutions in Nigeria released by the Apex Bank. The CBN says the objectives of the DFIs are to fund medium and small-scale businesses to complement the efforts of banks and other financial institutions and also foster growth through job creation. The Nigeria stock market hit the 43,000 psychological line 4 times in July, but could not sustain the momentum for long. This performance was impacted mainly by trading activities on the financial services stocks. While equities ended the month on the sell side, some stockbrokers hope that the month of August may also close in the southward territory. Our correspondent, Temple Ashaju, reports.
Equities started the month of July on an impressive note. By the middle of the month, however, the indicators began to exhaust the highest index point of 43,039.42 till it closed at 42,097.49. The drivers of these records were the earnings reports of listed companies. We saw the market indicators moved several times between 42,000 and the 43,000 psychological line in the stock market. What would you say was responsible for that period and its performances?
The improvement we saw that brought about a marginal increase in the market has to do with, one, the major factors have to do with the resumption of the new CBN governor. Two, the expectation of second quarter results. And then thirdly, the listings that occurred within that period, particularly Seplat and Cavantin.
The month of July saw the financial services sector, the conglomerates and the oil and gas sectors impacting positively or negatively on the market. Now for the month of August, stockbrokers are a little bit pessimistic about how the market indicators will move.
Usually, from the month of July, the market begins to decline. And it does that into August, September, and then begins to pick up again. So if you look at a 10-year graph of the market, that is the way it behaves.
The approaching election year could also contribute to the losing streak in the market during the third quarter. However, at this period, investors may want to diversify their portfolio by investing in bonds and other financial instruments. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
Now, barely 2 weeks after telecoms giant Globacom launched the lowest international call rates in Nigeria, the nation's national carrier has introduced another first in the industry. This time, Glo is giving its teeming subscribers faster and more convenient ways through which they can recharge their credit balance. Announcing the new direct codes for data, voice calls and IDD plans at the Mike Adenuga Towers in Lagos today, the head of operations at Globacom, Mr. Bisi Koliosho, said the latest innovation is the company's desire to keep satisfying its subscribers.
Before now, to make calls, use data, browse the internet, or even make international calls, a Glo subscriber would have to first recharge his account before going on to dial the codes to subscribe for data or IDD call packs.
Let me use this opportunity of answering your question.
After a series of surveys, the Glo team, led by Globacom's head of operation, Mr. Bisi Koliosho, brings a new innovation to ease the process for its customers.
We are delighted to announce the launch of the multiple recharge string and value packs, which is another strategic initiative by Globacom to satisfy its customers and ease the process of recharging phones with credits for voice and data services. Customers who want to directly top up and add to their main balance can simply dial *123* their PIN and hash key, while those interested in the regular top-up that adds directly to their data bundle can dial *223* PIN and the hash key, and those wishing to top directly into their IDD bundles can dial *323* PIN followed by the hash key.
Mr. Koliosho explains that the 3-in-1 recharge option also aims to solve the problem of accessibility.
And subscribers also do not have to follow any voice prompt or long winding instruction. This saves the time a subscriber spends in recharging his or her phone and increases options for recharging in an unambiguous way.
This multiple recharge option is another first in the industry, and Globacom says it won't be the last in its collection of first innovations. Henry Ogunjimi, Channels Television News.
The local bourse reversed previous losses as the benchmark index closed 1.17% higher at 42,292.93. Let's join Bolaji Akinwale for details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Trading activities at the local bourse reversed the loss recorded in the previous session. The benchmark index was higher by 1.17% to close at 42,292.93. The market's capitalization also edged up to close at 13.9 trillion naira. Leading the gainers back, petroleum markets stock, Seplat topped the table with 33 naira 75 kobo. Brew giant Guinness added 9 naira 56 kobo, while Mobil gained 8 naira 7 kobo. On the flip side, Northern Nigeria Flour Mill shared 98 kobo from its share price ahead of ETI and Dangote Flour. Access Bank Transcorp and FBN Holding attracted the highest units of shares on the volume charts. At the end of the session, investors staked 3.63 billion naira for 257 million shares in 5,788 deals. That's it on the stock market report. I'm Bolaji Akinwale.
Thank you, Bolaji. And that's it also on Business News. The news at 10 continues from here.
Next on the news at 10, attention shifts to the African Athletics Championships as Team Nigeria gets set for tournament. That's on Sports News. Please stay with us.